EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Sunshine State and TIAA Bank Field here in Jacksonville. Today, we've got a good Week 5 matchup in store here between the Houston Texans and the Jacksonville Jaguars. The first quarter of the season already in the rearview mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports.
And this will go as a touchback, and they will begin things at the 25. Bridgewater going to throw right away.
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Brought to the ground by the linebacker, Foye Oluokun.
Okay, partner, a couple points of interest right here, all right? Offensively, we see that they came out throwing the football, but maybe more importantly, the blitz that came defensively, they got right after him.
And you were telling me pregame before we came on air, you think this is something we could see a lot.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it because this is a unit that wants to play the game on their terms.
And he's got some space here. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a third down.
I don't think anyone thought we'd see a run facing second and that long, and that element of surprise, I think, helped make that play so successful. Nice effort on that carry, and it took what seemed like second and impossible, now has him within throwing range of a first down.
Bridgewater from the gun on third down. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's fourth down.
How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test them early. But they proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
On is the punter, Johnston now, as he sends this one away.
On the return, here's Agnew. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And it'll be Jaguar football as they take over deep in their own territory.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that,
yeah,
right?
He said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
And he's going to take this up past the 10 to about the 11. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Etienne once more.
Shifts by him. And able to get this one out just shy of the 25 at the 24. That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a first down.
Now Lawrence.
On the move to his left.
Screenplay. Here's Etienne.
And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. So it goes as a completed pass, but they lose a full 5 yards.
Oh, we're always talking about the athleticism we see from these guys on the field. How about the intelligence as well? He recognized that there was a screen pass on that one, broke off his pass rush, and got back to tackle the running back. That's great scouting and great reaction.
Lawrence going to get this to Etienne.
And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. 16 yards that time on the pickup for the Jags and a first down.
Now Lawrence.
Player has it complete. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that'll make it 2nd down.
The Jaguars at a disappointing 0-4 through the first month of the year. Yeah, they come into this one knowing it's been a while since they've had a W. They have dropped 4 in a row.
Let me tell you, when you go a month, partner, in this league, without a victory, it gets tough to come to work every day. And in addition, you start to wonder about your job security as well.
Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
Well, this defense for the Texans, they were excellent last week in the win over the Chargers.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and try to attack them this week because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, what do you do now when you go into a game?
This is intercepted. Desmond King picks it. And they will score a pick 6 for the Texans. Texans TD.
Well, for the offense, it looked like that drive had the makings of something good. They were starting to hit a groove, but the defense clearly had other ideas, not only to force the turnover, but to handle the scoring themselves.
Yeah, no panic in their eyes, was their partner? Think about it this way. A Hall of Fame coach once told me the best characteristic he liked out of his team was that they didn't flinch. This group, they got pushed back in an early series, kept their composure, and made a big play that swung the momentum their way.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
Now Jamal Agnew from his end zone. And this return will net positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
And sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick six and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
On 1st and 10, it's Etienne.
Oh, look at the juke. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Jaguars.
Travis Etienne with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Jaguars are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6. Riley Patterson now for the extra point.
It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest. You get a chance to heal up and kind of, do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
1st and 10, it's Pierce.
And some room to roam now. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45.
44 yards rushing for him now, and he's only carried the ball 4 times.
This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
Foye Oluokun finding his way to the ball for a stop, a tackle for loss. Seven, our score after 1.
They'll try to throw here now. Bridgewater.
Well, that's complete downfield to Cooks.
And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Brandon Cooks. His 3rd touchdown now on the year.
And the Texans have moved out in front.
So the quarterback drops to throw, looks over, and boom, a guy that wide open, he has to be thinking, wait a minute, this is some kind of a dream. This is too easy.
Yeah, a great dream. One you don't want to wake up from. But for the defense, almost feels like there was a bust in coverage.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They trail a one-score deficit, 14-7, as they come up 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground, Etienne. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
8 yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Lawrence. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. 3rd and 2, now Lawrence. And that's complete to Etienne out of the backfield. It'll be a loss of 2 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down. On 4th down, on is Logan Cook to punt. That's returnable now for Smith. A nice return that time of about 14 yards. And the Texans will take over. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And, Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are. But let's face it, partner, they can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They've got to take care of business first.
1st down, Bridgewater.
To Pierce, they set up the screen. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a 1st down again.
My goodness, they've come out locked in on this drive. Play calling, execution, they are fully in sync. 3 straight passes, 3 first downs. They're moving the ball downfield almost at will. This defense really struggling to find answers.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. And again, it's Bridgewater.
Repeat of the last play, going to Mechie here.
And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. Give him back-to-back catches now. That one for 16 and another 1st down.
Pierce now up the middle.
And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Marked that down for a win in the defense's column.
And a pickup of about 4 down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line. Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. Bridgewater.
Open man is Cooks. He's got it. Touchdown, Texans.
A great play there. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far.
And the Texans go up by 2 touchdowns.
Fairbairn good with the extra point, and it's now 21-7. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away.
And they'll bring it out to the 25 as Agnew elects for the touchback.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive.
And Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going. Yeah, another negative play in an early down situation. This one to start the drive. You're putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback to bail you out when you're in second and long yardage.
A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
From the gun, it's Lawrence. And looking for Kirk, but this pass is intercepted.
And they will score a pick six for the Texans TD.
That bumps us up to a 3-possession game here, and only in the second quarter, Charles. They're trying to put this game out of reach before we even hit the locker rooms for intermission.
What's even tougher is making up 3 possessions against a defense that can make impact plays like this. They don't have this game wrapped up quite yet, but 2 picks already, 1 to the house. I think it's fair to say they're headed in the right direction.
From his end zone, here comes Agnew. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive.
And not the first time that they're coming back out off of a turnover, but the last one really hurt Charles with that pick 6.
Oh, that's the 3rd interception for Lawrence. Picked off by Eric Murray.
And the Texans are going to take possession of the football.
Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
And Pierce gets it again on 2nd down.
And a short gain down to about the 33. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So on 4th down, Texan kicker Ka'imi Fairbairn comes on. And this will be a 45-yard attempt. Fairbairn able to put this one through, and that will extend their lead even further.
So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Steven Nelson. And they will score a pick 6 for the Texans TD.
I mean, at this point, CD, what is not going their way in this first half? After that pick six, they now have a 4-possession lead here.
And that allows them to say to themselves, how about we get everybody involved, okay? Because this one is a runaway, and it's looking like it's going to be even more of a runaway. Everybody gets a chance to play and get a little bit of love. The more guys that get to watching the highlight reels from this one, the better.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away.
And no return here for Agnew, so they'll bring it out, start the drive at the 25. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And with a little under a minute remaining, they may try to put something together here just to try to cut into that deficit.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop him with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play.
Evident there that he learned his lesson from the last drive. No way he was going to force a throw that time. When nothing broke open, kept it, and ended up running for a first down himself.
Throwing now, Lawrence on first down.
And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. Able to find a lot of empty space there, picking up the first down at a 21-yard gain.
I am willing to bet that he got a monster grin on his face when he saw what was happening. Man coverage was so committed to denying a big throw that it pulled attention away from him, and he had an easy lane to hit, and hit it he did.
Check 26, check 26.
And now they'll throw it with Lawrence.
Now he lets it go deep for Kirk. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. 2nd and 10. Here's Lawrence again. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete. I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. How about 25 yards on 3rd down? They'll take it.
And I don't think there's any question that this offense is going to need to hit on a few more plays like this. It's been a difficult first half for them, to say the least. And I do believe if they want to get back in this game, they need to start right now. It's kind of like making adjustments. If you try and wait until the half, it's probably too late. They need to get going right here.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the right hash here, should be an easy one.
Patterson's kick is good.
And that will do it for this first half. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we now go downstate to Orlando and check in with Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. The Jaguars with work to do. They trail here as we are back underway on EA Sports.
From his end zone, here comes Agnew. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
Meanwhile, Lawrence's throw into the hands of Kirk.
And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. Throwing again on second down. Lawrence. And now here is another interception.
Partner, I see you reaching for a white flag. Put it down. I don't want you throwing it, but I understand why. Because if you do, you're hoping they might actually stop this game because we're in blowout territory right now. That interception just surrendered any momentum they built up in the locker room during halftime. So game plan, it's in the garbage. Time to try something new in this one.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting third and about 4 to go.
Pierce will try to pick it up.
And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first.
68 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
They go again with Pierce. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
On second down, Freeman.
And this defense not ready for that one as he'll take this down inside the 25.
10 yards there, good enough for a Texan 1st down.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the 1st down on that run. Don't just ask for him. Show him that you're supposed to get the football.
And he'll get about 5 here as he'll take this down inside the 20-yard line.
They've created a nice sustained drive off of plays like that. A nice strong run there. It keeps them advancing the ball.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
And Pierce gets it again on 2nd down.
And they'll work this down to the 15 for a pickup of 4. This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's 3rd and a yard.
Going for it with Pierce.
And he gets the 1st down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. That gain of 9 buys them a new set of downs.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard.
They'll run here with Pierce.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
On 2nd down, here's Pierce.
And he gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4.
I have to laugh a little bit because he actually handed it off. I thought with the 2 touchdown passes he's thrown in this one already, he'd go ahead and fling and try and get a 3rd one.
Yeah, now from this spot on 3rd down, I think he'd probably throw it here.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question about it. They won't even send in a running play here, I don't believe. I think they go ahead and try and throw it for a touchdown.
Yeah, they'll try to run with Pierce.
And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. 4th down now after a loss of 2.
There have not been a lot of great moments for this defense throughout this game. Finally, they have one they can hang their hat on. A nice stop there.
The kick by Fairbairn is good, and that will finish off this third quarter of play. And they won't be able to run another play. Time has expired on this third quarter. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. From his end zone, here comes Agnew. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was going to be the game to stem the tide, but that just has not been the case.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Now a pass dumped off to his running back. A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28.
He's had success running the football. This is more or less an extension of that because they drop it off to him on the screen. And I'll bet he's thinking to himself, if I didn't have to slow up a bit here in traffic, I could have really made something out of that one.
And that is incomplete.
Well, he certainly thought he had a window to push that ball downfield, but as soon as he released the throw, the corner was there to slam that window shut.
Ready. Mike 14. 14's the mic. 14's the mic. Pick it up, guys. Pick it up.
Here we go. Gotta have it. Lawrence dancing to his left. And they hit him as he throws, as this one's going to go straight down to the turf. Incomplete. The Jags come up empty on 4th down. And the Texans take over an excellent field position. Pierce takes it straight ahead. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters. No reason to lighten up now. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the 1st down.
And they'll go right back to Pierce. He will push his way down to about the 14. Tyson Campbell up to make the stop. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now a handoff for Pierce. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it's going to make it 3rd down at 6.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who could do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. And he'll be stopped well short. Only 2 yards there, 4th and 3. The kick by Fairbairn is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And you hate to see this for them, but they're looking at yet another loss to begin this season. Things really going from bad to worse as they trail here starting this drive 1st and 10 in the 4th quarter.
I know he was trying to get the completion downfield, but the way this game has gone, with a few of the runs he's made along the way, he should have kept the ball and taken it with his feet downfield. That's the big play that shreds a defense. Instead, he thought to himself, I'm a quarterback. I've got to throw it. He bailed out the defense with that incompletion.
They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the 1st.
Mike 58 right there. Too low,
On third down, Lawrence. And that went a little too high as it's knocked away and incomplete.
Oh, I like the calmness of how he played the ball here. No panic in his eyes as that throw arrived. Tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand, and that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
They're going on fourth down. Lawrence.
And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Jags come up empty on fourth down, and it'll be a turnover on downs. Well, that's another mistake there on the drop pass on fourth, and we've seen them do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution. Either you make the play or you don't.
They'll get this down to the 21, just on the edge of the red zone.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And Pierce gets it again on second down.
And he is close to a first down as he's tackled at the Jaguars' 15-yard line. After a gain of 5, they'll wind up being about a length of the football short here on third down.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
The offense on third down tonight, 3 for 7 so far in this game. They're looking at third in the nose of the football. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. They've got a fourth down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. Now Ka'imi Fairbairn out for the field goal try for the Texans. Fairbairn able to put this one through.
So the starting field position was terrific following the surprising turnover on downs, but the end result, only 3 points.
Simply stated, I think you have to look at that as a missed opportunity.
From his end zone, here comes Agnew. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive.
Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but
there he goes, right side. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
He's been having a great game, and that one right there, his best run so far, and it ends with 6 points.
And not only that, in his mind, what is he thinking? Can I get to 200 yards as well? Because he knows he's closing in on it. He may not know the exact number, but the best runners have a feel of what the yardage is that they're compiling, and he knows that he's getting close to that 200-yard mark now.
Out of the end zone comes Smith. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
And right about now, heck, they might be wishing they did not have a bye week coming up next week. It appears they're going to go into that week off in high spirits as they've got this one well in hand. 128 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. And Pierce gets it again on second down.
And he'll get this up only to about the 33. He can muster only a yard there, and they'll be left with a third and very short.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
third down, here's Pierce.
And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. Here's Cameron Johnston now as he'll kick it away for the second time. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
And we've got a timeout. 9 seconds remaining. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now a timeout called for by the defense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
Here's Lawrence.
He's got a man complete. The Jaguars now will use the last of their timeouts. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
A final shot now for Lawrence.
He'll rifle this one deep right side, and that will be incomplete. They were going for a consolation TD, but it was not to be, and time has run out now on this game.
And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance. Well, by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
It certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go at each other in practice, obviously your training camps, your off-season, but on game day, you both want to show your best, and I think that's what we saw from both the offense and the defense, a complete team victory.
So for the Texans, they move back over 500 at 3-2 now on the year. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for Jacksonville, things aren't looking good. It'll be an 0-5 start. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Indianapolis to take on the Colts. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.